It's really important to plan, but then also get out of planning mode and actually start taking action and making those decisions. Planning makes you feel like you're being productive. Planning makes you feel like you're accomplishing something. It makes you feel like you're doing something. If you're continually planning and not taking action, you're just avoiding taking action and making decisions. Welcome to What Was I Supposed to Be Doing? Time management, prioritization, and focus for when the whole business runs from your brain. I'm Lauren Glenn. I've been in the online business space for over a decade, and I've helped everyone from small business owners to Fortune 500 companies stop reacting to their business and start running it with purpose. These days, I work with service-based entrepreneurs who are booked out, overwhelmed, and tired of always feeling behind. Together, we create time management strategies that match your brain, your energy, and the business you're actually running, not the one hustle bros say you should have. Around here, you'll get honest takes, practical strategies, and maybe a little swearing, so you can finally follow through on the stuff that matters and stop stressing over everything else. Let's get into it. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You're working all day, but feel like you're not actually getting anything done. Or you get to the end of the day, and you wonder, where did all my time go? What did I actually get done today? How is it already 5 o'clock? You're busy, so you think that means you're being productive, but a lot of times that really just means you're in survival mode. And your calendar is full, so obviously you must be making progress. If any of that sounds like you are in the right place. You're doing a lot, you just may not be doing the right things that actually grow your business. But how do you figure out what the difference is? We're going to talk about that in today's episode. A lot of business owners get stuck in the cycle of busyness, but without really stopping to think about where their time is going and what they're spending their time and their energy on. Are you doing things just because they're on your list? Are you doing things because everyone else is doing them? Are you doing them because that's what you've always done? Or are you sitting and stopping and thinking strategically about where your time is going, what you're spending your energy on, and if it's the right things to be moving your business forward? So what's the real difference between a task that actually matters and one that just is masquerading as something that makes a difference? So tasks that matter, those we call needle movers, actually create momentum in your business. They create impact in your business, and they create revenue. Those are the things that actually move your business forward. They make a difference in how your business is running, what you're doing in your business. They're usually bigger picture things. Not things like sending one specific email to this client or things like reorganizing your ClickUp dashboard. Those are not the needle movers in your business. They may help from the back end. They may make a difference, but they're not the big important things in your business. A lot of times the things that feel urgent are because they're very visible to you. They're very noisy. You know that old saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Or they're familiar. They're things that you've always done in your business. They're things that you have gotten used to doing in your business. So they feel like things you should keep doing because they're things that you've always done. But I want you to step back and ask yourself, if I didn't do this today, what's the worst that would happen? Would it matter? Would it matter next week? Would it really make a difference in the impact that I'm providing to my customers? Would it make a difference in my revenue? Really consider, are the things that I'm doing the important things in my business? And remember, the work that actually matters in your business, that will make that impact, that will really increase your revenue or your momentum, is usually a lot quieter. It's usually not as flashy. It's usually not as exciting or not as noisy, but it's just as important, if not more important, than the things that are noisy and the things that are visible for you. One way to really get a handle on this is to use my free Notion template, the Hell Yes Task Sorter. It can help you figure out what actually matters and what doesn't. Helps you organize everything, sort everything, and see everything in a list. You can get that at the link below or at laurenglenn.com/hellyes. So let's talk a little bit more about what tasks may be masquerading as being productive when really they're just things to fill the time. Answering every message or DM that you get in real time, feeling like people expect you to respond, and so you have to be on the ball, and you have to answer every message or DM or Slack message or ClickUp message that you get because people are expecting you to respond and they're expecting you to be available. That is a great way of seeming productive, but really just filling your time. So I always recommend to my clients that they time box specific times of day or even specific times of week to respond to messages. One of my clients actually only responded to emails once a week, which I know to a lot of us really feels insane, but it was effective for her. She had an autoresponder in her email that made it very clear that she only checked email once a week and that she would be getting back to them on that day, but to not expect a response sooner. And her clients understood and they got in line and they got in the habit of understanding and not expecting a response from her sooner. And she would work with clients separately in a tool like Slack where they could access her faster. But for email itself specifically, she would only respond one day a week, it worked for her. So rebuilding your Notion dashboard again, guilty. I actually was talking to someone the other day about how I use Notion and Zapier as my avoidance techniques. I love to go in and build in new automations and build in new dashboards and things like that. And that's how I avoid doing the work that I know I should be doing, that bigger, more important work. So we all do it. Even us productivity people are not exempt from these kinds of activities. But that is not a task that actually moves my business forward. It's not really an important task. My business would probably survive and thrive without me going in and updating my Notion dashboard all the time. But it's something I enjoy doing, so it's what I do to avoid my other work. Rewriting a finished blog post, unless it's with the purpose for SEO, and you're on a mission to really improve your SEO, and you're going in there with intention. But if you're just going in there to tweak a blog post that's already out there, or tweak an existing social media post, and you're not really doing it with intention or with a strategy behind it, then that is something that makes you feel like you're being productive, but you're not actually. And then staying in prep mode instead of actually making a decision or taking action. So another one that I personally have been guilty of in the past is planning everything over and over again, step by step. What is this email going to say? What am I going to send here? When am I going to send it? What is this launch exactly going to look like every single step of the way? What's my bigger term strategy that I'm looking at? Continually planning all of these things is important, but so is actually doing them and taking action and making decisions. And a lot of us business owners avoid those specific actions because they're big and scary. It's big and scary to make a decision. It's big and scary to actually take action and put yourself out there. If you're constantly in planning mode and never making those decisions and never actually taking action, then all your planning is kind of a waste of time. So it's really important to plan, but then also get out of planning mode and actually start taking action and making those decisions. And planning makes you feel like you're being productive. Planning makes you feel like you're accomplishing something. It makes you feel like you're doing something. But really, if you're continually planning and not taking action, you're just avoiding taking action and making decisions. And finally, I'll just check this quick, easy thing off my list, just constantly, over and over again. Really going for that easy, low-hanging fruit on your to-do list and just checking it off and not really thinking about, is this really what I should be focusing on? Is this where my energy should be going? Is this where I want my energy going, or am I really doing this because I'm avoiding something else? Am I avoiding the harder things? Am I avoiding the bigger things in my business? And again, we all do it. Everybody has their own avoidance techniques, just like I was talking about doing Zapier earlier. So it's understandable, but it should be something that you are aware of and at least making conscious choices about it. I always make a conscious choice that I want to create an automation instead of this other bigger thing that I'm avoiding, or it's something that I want to mull over. And so it's easy for me to kind of think about those things while I'm building out those automations or working on my Notion dashboard. But if you're continually just checking things off your list, or rather, if you're continually going after those easy to check off your list things and not really considering, is this the most important thing? What am I avoiding by doing this task instead? Things like posting to social media or scrolling social media for inspiration or, just easy things on your list that probably aren't really that important, but make you feel like you're making progress and make you feel like you're actually getting things done, even though you're not really doing the things that are important for your business. So how do you actually start figuring out what's worth your time? I gave a few examples in the past section, but what can you do? What are some activities that you can do to sit down and figure out where your time should be going? Well, first, you want to get everything out of your head and into one place. This is the first 2 steps of my break framework. We have baseline, which is understanding exactly where all of your time is going. And then we have R, which is record. And so by baselining and recording everything that's happening in your time, in your week, then it's a lot easier to then make decisions around whether or not those tasks are the most important, or if there are other tasks that you potentially should be doing instead. Visibility is key to understanding what's happening so that you can make intentional changes in the future. Then you want to look at each thing and filter it with real criteria. Not just can I do it, but should I be doing it? What value is this providing to my business? Is this something that's actually worth my time? Is it making an impact? Is it helping me with the momentum or revenue of my business? Or is it just something that everyone else is doing, so I feel like I should be doing? Is it something that I've seen other people do and I've been doing it for a long time, but I don't really know why I'm doing it? So really stopping to ask yourself those questions is really important. And my Hell Yes task sorter that I talked about earlier can help you with all of this. It is totally free, and it will help you list out everything that's in there and then filter it out based on whether or not it's making an impact in your business. And from there, then you can decide, is this aligned with your current goals? Does this need to be done by you? And if it does need to be done by you, does it need to be done now? Is this something you could potentially stop doing? Or is it something you could potentially automate instead of doing it yourself? There are so many automation tools out there right now to make things so much easier and faster for you that you may not have taken the time. And I know that I'm just talking about avoiding things by creating automations, but you may not have taken the time to figure out, oh, actually, this thing that I'm doing every week could be automated by this other tool now that now exists that didn't exist 6 months ago. So by really evaluating what you're doing and where your time is going and whether or not it's important and whether or not it could be automated or done by someone else, that will free up your time for the things that really matter in your business. And when you finally get clear on what does matter in your business, where your time should be going, what the activities are that you should be doing, you finally stop second guessing where your time is going. You stop second guessing everything that you do during your day, or having that moment at the end of the day where you go, where did my time go? What did I actually spend doing all day? Where did I actually accomplish anything? All of that goes away because you know what your priorities are, you know where your time should be going, and you know if your time went to those things or not. Or if they didn't, which is okay, we don't always have to be working towards the highest priority thing. Because sometimes we want to do the things that we enjoy, like me and my automation. Sometimes you want to go and do those things that you enjoy in your business. Otherwise, why are we in business in the first place? But at least it's a conscious choice. So much of our lives are just unconsciously going through the motions of life every day. And by making a conscious choice to not do the highest priority thing, you're at least acknowledging that you're doing it, as opposed to doing it mindlessly or doing it without thought. So by acknowledging, hey, I know this isn't the highest priority thing right now, but I really want to do it, and honoring sort of your attention and your energy in that moment, that's okay too. You just have to make it a conscious choice as opposed to a subconscious one or an unconscious one. It's also a lot easier to let go of those low value tasks without feeling guilty about it, because you understand that those low value things are not actually bringing you closer towards your goals. They're just things that you've gotten in the habit of doing or thought you should be doing, but now you're reevaluating and saying, actually, this isn't really important. This really isn't worth my time and effort and brain space, because we all have finite brain space and energy these days. So it's really important that you're not letting things in that don't really matter. And so now you can let go of that guilt of not doing those things that don't really move the needle in your business. It also makes it a lot easier to say no to things. It makes it easier to set boundaries. When you understand what the highest priority things are for you in your business, what you should be focusing on, then it's a lot easier to set boundaries around your time, to understand what is really important for you to say yes to and what's important for you to say no to, so that you're not wasting your time on opportunities that don't really help you and your business. And it starts giving you white space in your business and in your time and in your calendar and in your head. And as business leaders, that white space is so important. It really is necessary for us to have the capacity to think creatively, to think strategically in our business, to really consider all possibilities and all options. And if we're just jumping from task to task, then we never have that breathing room of figuring out where we should be spending our time, what's really important, and where we want our business to go. You know, how do you ever figure out what that bigger picture is, what that next step is, if you don't have that white space to think about it? So by filtering out those tasks that don't matter, and really focusing only on the tasks that do and that are really important for your business, then you have supposedly, theoretically, white space to start thinking about what's really important, what really matters in your business, and where you want to go next. So one simple way to apply all of this right now is to just do a quick brain dump. Think about everything that's going on in your business right now. You could even just do it for today if that's the easiest thing for you. Think about everything that you have to do today in your business or that's on your list to do today in your business, and then go through and really run it through that filter. Is this moving the needle in my business? Is this creating momentum? Is this creating revenue? If it's not doing any of those three things, then consider what would happen if you didn't do it. What's the worst possible scenario if this thing didn't happen today? And then consider, okay, well, if that's the worst possible scenario, maybe I don't actually have to do it. Maybe it's not important. Maybe I don't need to be putting my energy towards it. So do a brain dump, then run everything on that list through that filter. And I want you to pick 1 to 2 things that are not on your list, but you know would move the needle forward in your business. You know they would create revenue or momentum or impact in your business, and add those to your list. Really think about what's important that I'm avoiding or what's important that I could add that would make a big difference, and add those to your list this week. And not only add them to your list, but also block time for them. Make it important. Make it an appointment on your calendar so that you are dedicating time to it and making it happen. Your to-do list does not prove your worth. It is not your badge of productivity. It is just the list of things, should just be the list of things that are important enough to move your business forward. And if you want help doing any of this, then that is exactly what I help business owners do. You can pick up your free Hell Yes task sorter in the description, laurenglenn.com/hellyes. If you need help doing this and you want a little bit more handholding, you want a little bit more guidance, and you want help developing that custom weekly schedule, then sign up for my Bottleneck to Balance roadmap. The link is also at the description below. It's a 90-minute one-on-one session where we actually walk through everything on your list and your schedule, and we create a schedule that works for you with your energy and your business. So if you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up, give it a review, give it a comment, whatever platform you're on. And I read every single one of them. Everyone really matters to me, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening or watching today. Next week, we're going to be talking about why delegation hasn't worked for you in the past and what you can do in the future to actually make it work for you. So if you are excited for that or interested in learning more of that, please subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.